I'd just like to first thank you for working with us on this project. We really appreciate this.
Absolutely, been there.
So, in your own words, could you kind of describe your mission in Best Buddies?
In my own words, it's basically all we're trying to do is help the general public understand the needs for the IDD, the intellectual and developmental disabled, and put them in the general population as social acceptance and being part of the inclusion in our population versus the exclusion. That's truly my mission.
That's very important. Could you also give us a few words about you guys' 2020 plan and what that means for the future?
Yeah, so Anthony Kennedy Shriver, the founder, had made some pretty aggressive goals even 5 years ago, and he came close to hitting the 50 countries in 25 states, which is what he did, and he's succeeded in that. And so now he is set out the 2020 initiative, which is being in 100 different countries around the world and being in all 50 states.
Wow.
Whether or not we're going to actually achieve the 50 states, I don't know, but I can tell you the 100 countries, and I'll eat my shorts if we don't accomplish that. Yeah. But it's very aggressive. It's extremely aggressive because we're a small nonprofit in terms of the real large cancer society, Live Strong. I mean, you're talking hundreds of millions of dollars every year, where we're a very, very small nonprofit that doesn't make a lot. We have a revenue here in the state of Arizona of $500,000, and it's $500,000, and we really fight for every penny we can just for our nonprofit.
Wow. Well, yeah. I bet you all those kids really appreciate you helping out.
Yep.
Could you just kind of explain to us some of your upcoming events?
Sure. So October 6th, we have what's called the Criterium Race, and it's used as a platform for educational. Primarily, I come from the athletic background, history with coaching and whatnot, and so I decided to put on a real competitive event that's going to bring in basically a population that has an income of 60 to 80,000 per year. So we look at one of two things there. We will have support, because obviously these are individuals that have a pretty decent income that can actually support a nonprofit. But more so is getting an audience that's captive that knows very, very little about the IDD community. And for us to be able to have them come and participate in an event, while we get to use it as an educational platform and introductions with other youth with the IDD, it's going to be an incredible day. And we're putting on not only competitive events through that day, but we're also doing what's going to be called a buddy tandem ride. So these competitive athletes can actually pair up with one of our buddies and ride them around the racetrack. And it'll be it's that inclusion part that I'm really trying to fight with and make sure that people understand it's really important. I mean, these are incredible individuals that have the right to be here and have the right to be included in these events, and so for them to actually see that is going to be great. November 9th, we put on our biggest fundraiser. Tara Hitchcock, she used to be the anchor for Channel 3. She's now moved on to some bigger and better projects, but she is our host of the Friendship Gala that we have every year, and it brings in close to $300,000 per year in our fundraising. So in a nutshell, it brings in about 65% of all of our revenue that comes in to cover all of our programs. Without this event, we wouldn't have programs at all here in Arizona. So it's a big, big event for us, and it's an upper echelon, if you will, of scaled individuals that typically attend. It's $500 per seat, so you come in and people are spending some money to be there and to support the organization.
Wow. Now, can everyone be involved in that event?
Anybody is welcome to come in and be part of it. I mean, you can basically go on our website. There should be a link to the gala, and anybody can buy seats. You just have to buy a seat there. And like I said, it's an expensive seat, but it's worth every penny.
Of course.
Yeah. And then we have Kurt and Brenda Warner that come in, and Kurt is our co-host, and He's got a new TV reality show coming out this year, so he's going to launch a bunch of that this year at the event, which is going to be phenomenal. And then his wife is on the circuit for the Christian organization, which is going to be really neat, very empowering too. And we have a whole number of Diamondbacks and Sun players and the rest that come and attend it too, so it's pretty high profile.
Very nice. Now, could you tell us a little bit about your new program, the Buddy Club, that's starting in Arizona?
The social club?
The social club,
Yeah.
yes.
So what we decided was that in order for us to keep expanding our outreach is that we wanted to do a social networking club. It's typically going to be some younger professionals that we would like in this social club. And the idea of that being is that, you know, if we have some real successful entrepreneurs that can come in here, they can see what we do as an organization, they'll buy in. I mean, as soon as they meet 4 or 5 of our buddies in our program, most everybody who participates in it is involved for years. So we decided to do the social club. Anybody is welcome to be part of the social club. But our intention is that we do want to try to get some younger business professionals to come in and support the organization that can kind of help us meet our mission, and that's to launch more programs. I feel as the state, I mean, this is our 12th year, and this is my 2nd year as state director, and I just feel as though we've always kind of fell a little short on what our goals are here. I mean, it's our outreach with our high school chapters and our middle school chapters and the ASU chapter and U of A. We've done a great job with that, but that's just one component of what we really should be doing. We should be providing jobs to the IDD community. We should be providing ambassadors, which is, you know, further education after school. There's just so many more things that we should be doing, and of course we can't because of funding. So the social club comes in and we say, you know what, these are things that we really want to launch over the next year or 2 years, and we need young professionals who are aspiring like you to come in and help us achieve some of these goals. And if we don't do that, we'll never get outside our box.
Right.
So this is just one of those ways to try to think big picture.
Social media is definitely a good tool to use in these days.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. It's definitely phenomenal. And we don't do a very good job with social media either. I mean, it's just, you know, it's hit and miss for us. We don't have any professional that's out there doing our typical blast. We just make announcements, and you know, we're not doing the best that we can do to utilize that either. But yeah, learning lesson. So
what do you feel that you guys need the most to help you achieve all your goals in the future?
I would like to say, obviously, for any nonprofits, financials is the backbone to any nonprofit. You don't have a good financial structure behind you, you're not going to have any programs at all. And that goes for any nonprofit. So that's probably always the #1 ticket that's always on any state director or anybody that's in a nonprofit. They know that that's their employment. And we don't do the fundraising, we don't do the events, we don't have jobs. And we don't have jobs, we don't have programs here. So that is the biggest priority. But again, like I said, I mean, my goal is more of educating the general population on the IDD community. We have 300,000 individuals in Phoenix alone, Phoenix metropolitan alone, that suffer from IDD or live with IDD. And you're talking about individuals who have probably spent a good part of their entire life being isolated. And it's not their fault. It's not their parents' fault. It's society has just taken a back seat to the issue. And if you're talking about a 3% worldwide issue here, these are big numbers. And somebody's got to make a change. And AKS finally came back and said, you know, we have to look at big picture too. We got to keep expanding. And we have 7 different programs that we like to do per state, but for us right now, I mean, we are great programs. We used to have ambassadors, we lost funding for that. That's that further education. We've never had jobs here. So I mean, we are missing the boat on a lot of these programs, and it's because of funding. And primarily it's because of awareness. And the state of Arizona, we have not done a good job getting out to the community, and hopefully people like yourselves will help us send the message and, you know, spread the word for us. And that's all we can ever ask, and really educate people.
That's good. So do you feel that the socialization of the IDD community then helps educate those individuals as well?
Socializing them and putting them in a social platform, absolutely. First and foremost, I don't know if you've ever been into a room where you see somebody with Downs that comes walking into the room and you watch the eyes hit the person with the Down syndrome. And there's nothing wrong with them being there, but the thing that we've done is we've taken the next step to empower that individual to be able to walk into that room and turn at the table and talk about what IDD is, what he lives with, how he's happy being who he is, and that he just wants acceptance. That's it. And he's not afraid to be able to do that, because society shows right now a person with Down syndrome walks into a room with a group of individuals, and because of isolation issues over year after year, what happens? He's not going to be able to talk to anybody.
Be there, yeah.
Absolutely. He's going to go and sit in a corner. He's not going to say anything. Everybody's going to continue to stare at him and wonder and all the rest of it. Well, we stop the wondering. We say, you walk into that room, you be proud of who you are. You educate these individuals who know nothing about IDD, and I promise you, if they hear you speak, they get to know you, they're going to buy in, and you're going to be sitting at the table with anybody else. So you got to earn that too. So it's kind of twofold too. That's what our educational platforms really try to empower them to do, is be able to be the voice for themselves, and then be an ambassador and be a representative to those others with IDD.
That's certainly a great stance.
Yeah, yeah. We only touch, per year, 1,000 individuals in the schools with IDD. And like I said, we're looking at 300,000 right in Phoenix metropolitan area alone. So our work is, I mean, we're just hitting just the hint of the iceberg, right? And if you look, a lot of cases, when you're on the freeways and you see people standing there with signs asking for help, most cases these are individuals with IDD because they don't know what the next step is, right? And we have to do a better job with really trying to educate them that they do have a power, they do have a stance, they can get jobs, they can be independent, they don't have to live on the streets. And we just have to do a better job, really, all of us, really educating them and empowering them.
All right. Well, thank you so much
Yeah.
for your time.
Absolutely.